every aspect of my life, somebody has helped me. Every aspect. It has come full circle. It's not one area of my life that somebody hasn't helped me.
Hey there, this is Patrice Washington, and you're listening to the Purpose to Platform podcast, where we share stories of women who are using their God-given gifts to chase purpose and create influence, impact, and income with integrity. In this week's episode, I'm breaking down why greatness cannot be created in isolation. At the heart of this episode is community and accountability, and why you need both if you're going to chase purpose successfully. When I launched Purpose to Platform, I was very clear that community had to be a part of the process. I had done one-on-one coaching for a long time, and I saw how, despite how much clarity women felt like they had on a coaching call with me, when they would go away for a week or two to actually implement, because they didn't have immediate access to someone who could actually support them and to people who had the capacity to understand what it is they wanted to do and what path they were on, they would often end up doing very little because they were so frustrated and overwhelmed. And so when I thought about the idea of launching Purpose to Platform, I wanted to have quality content and I wanted to have stellar coaching, of course, but the secret sauce for us has been the close-knit community. We build a sisterhood from the very beginning. From the day of the very first meeting together, the welcome orientation, it is very clear that we create a safe space for women to be vulnerable, for them to take their capes off, for them to not have to be the smartest person in the room, for them to have permission to say, I don't know what I don't know. And we remind them that we're not competition, that nobody is here to steal your idea or take from you, that we are sisters. And contrary to what a lot of people believe out there, women can support and uplift each other so well if given the right space, if given the right environment, and if allowed to be awesome and a hot mess all at the same time. Aretha.
I came in initially and I had my guard up because I've had some really difficult relationships with women. I've been hurt, I've been betrayed, so I kind of kept to myself. I would go on, support, give a little love, but I mostly kept to myself. But right now in the Proverbs Challenge, I am showing up everyday life and I've just grown so much. The love, the sisterhood in here, the support. Too many names for me to call out. On my vision board at the beginning of 2020, I actually have a picture with a tribe of women behind a successful woman. And it was one of my intentions. And I pulled out the paper where I wrote my intentions for P2P on the 16th of June. And the only thing that has not manifested is me going live for my own program on social media direct, but I'm doing it in the challenge. Everything else has been manifested. And the coaches, oh boy, I was assigned to Coach Brittany, but when I missed the calls, I jumped into Coach Courage. Even Coach Kathy gave me, assistance with my limiting beliefs, what is and what if. And I just, I can't express the growth, the clarity, everything that has come up.
I tell the ladies all the time that I don't believe you can create greatness in isolation. I know how easy it is when you're starting out on any venture, really, to want to do it all yourself, to want to put your head down and Google until you can't Google anymore and read all the resources and read all the books and listen to all the podcasts and literally think that you're going to take all of this information and apply it yourself. But what I see for most people is that they will be inspired by this overload of information and then analyze it to death and end up doing absolutely nothing. And when you are not in community and when you don't have accountability and you don't have anyone to bounce ideas off of or to share things with, then the very idea that God may have given you to run with, you start to second guess, you straddle the fence, and you backpedal. And before you know it, it's like you had no idea at all. Johnesha.
So I wanted to give everybody a quick timeline right quick, y'all. So I messaged Patrice on January the 19th, 2020, and I said, "Hi, I feel 100% blessed to have found your Instagram page. I think your message and the foundation you're teaching is incredible. I need a mentor, and I wanted to know how I can become your mentee." So fast forward to April, you guys, I was accepted into Command the Stage. We had a brief conversation and Command the Stage was not it. And she allowed me to be in this program. And basically what I want to say is I realized at the first assignment of writing, if you could pick anyone to tell your story, who would you want to pick? I picked Oprah and I did the Where Are They Now? When I say I cried and I took a pause and I'm like, this lady didn't tell me this program was going to raise so many emotions. And it was at that moment I realized every aspect of my life, somebody has helped me. Every aspect. It has come full circle. It's not one area of my life that somebody hasn't helped me.
The powerful thing about community is that, at least in our community, I'll speak for Purpose to Platform, we really remind each other that as much as this might be the call on your life, it's not about you. Because sometimes the thing that talks us out of moving forward is this idea that it's all about us. So I do things when I feel like it. If I don't feel like it, oh, well, not a big deal. Nobody knew. I hadn't announced anything. I hadn't posted anything. But when your community knows, when your accountability partners know, when your sisters know, they don't let you play small, because we all recognize that there is someone out there who is tossing and turning and not sleeping at night because we have something that they need. And so community is not just about helping you determine what to put on the calendar. Sometimes you need community to remind you and give you that kick in the butt that this ain't about you. There is a greater work going on here that requires your obedience. It requires your perseverance. It requires you to show up even when it's inconvenient, even when you're uncomfortable, when you don't feel like it, because there is something bigger. And oftentimes, as my husband used to tell me early on, I see more in you than you see in yourself. And that's one of the things I have witnessed ladies in Purpose to Platform saying to other women in the community. Sis, I see more in you than you see in yourself right now. And I'm not going to let you play small. And oftentimes, that's the only word that someone will need to keep going. And not only are they blessed because they get to launch the thing and because it's profitable, but the people they were called to serve are blessed because they showed up. And they almost didn't, but that's what community does. Okay, so we'll start with Gurpreet.
When I came to you with a lot of coach hurt. And I said this at my last Q&A, which was, my last coach is in a very well-known space. And she asked me to not share myself with her people, but also asked me whether my people could do my small course and then can I send them to her. So I came to you and I didn't know, when I felt lost. And I'm saying to you, you restored my faith in my faith. You restored my faith in my craft. You restored my faith in myself. You restored my faith in my gift. You sent me back home. So for that, I love you. I'm grateful. You changed my world. And then you introduced me to all these people. You sent me home. And I love you for it. That's it.
We love you. Thank you, Gurpreet. Thank you. Ashley?
To everybody, to Patrice, to Courage, to Sean, Caesar, Brittany, just everybody that I've worked with and all my Purpose to Platform sisters. It's no exaggeration when I say this has changed my life. I can now not only recognize exactly what it is that I'm supposed to do, but I can clearly communicate it with confidence. And now I know how to monetize it. So I'm just so thankful, and I'm forever grateful for this experience. It's an honor and a privilege. I don't take it lightly that I was in this program, because I know that you don't work with just any and everybody. So I just know that I love each and every single one of you all. I'm here to support you all to the fullest, to the max. And just remember that we are the glue. Initially, I thought Patrice was the glue, but Patrice is not the glue, because it's another whole set of women that has to go through the next round of Purpose to Platform that she has to pour into. So we are the glue. So my prayer is that all of us would continue to stick together and support one another, because she can't be the glue for us. We got to be the glue for each other. So that's all I wanted to say. I love you all sincerely.
Maybe you're smarter. Maybe you feel like you have more knowledge, but at the end of the day, wisdom is what you want, because wisdom is the application of the information and the knowledge that you do have. And I believe a lot of wisdom comes from wise counsel, which means you have to surround yourself with other people who are not just like-minded, but definitely share the same heart. And also people who maybe share different views and different perspectives, because they'll be able to challenge you to take that information and actually do something with it. And so to be in an environment where women are so purpose-driven and passionate about their call to transform other people's lives, that they don't have time to be jealous and they don't have time to gossip. They're so focused on doing what they need to do, but also want to lock arms with other women and take them with them. There's nothing like it. It's one of the highlights of my professional career, is seeing how women can come together and literally inspire, encourage, motivate, empower, push, and pray for one another to all live out the call on their lives.
Megan?
I prayed for years and years to have a community of sisters. And I know I posted something on Facebook a while back about how I spent so many years being really insecure and selfish that I was not able to have deep relationships. And I always thought it was everybody else's fault. I never thought it was me. So when I learned the lessons that I needed to learn, I didn't have anybody around me. I didn't have girlfriends. I honestly didn't have like someone I could just call up and vent to. And I just prayed that God would just give me a group of sisters that I always wanted. And he gave me the best. And honestly, if that was the only thing that came out of this, it was well worth the money. I would have paid more. But you guys are amazing. And my life has changed, and not just my life, but my husband's. And the day I came home from my job, the last day, I dropped to my knees and I just told God, like, this is the day that our family changes for generations.
If you're listening to this and you know that you have been a Lone Ranger and you are sick and tired of being sick and tired of trying to do this thing alone, I don't care if it's Purpose to Platform, honestly. I just want you to know that it is a must that you get in community. It is a must that you find like-minded and like-hearted people, but also people who are not like-minded, who are going to challenge you and stretch you and force you to be uncomfortable so that you can truly walk out the call on your life. Don't sit on the sidelines wishing, hoping, praying that a community falls in your lap. Be proactive about going to curate the community that you need. You may not have friends or family members or anyone in your immediate circle who has the capacity to understand or hold the vision that you have for your life. But you better go get around some people who share a passion for seeing visions come to fruition. You got to get around people who want to speak the same language, want to make the same type of impact, and want to create the same type of influence. And because they want it so badly for themselves, they're going to inherently want it for you too, because you become their sister, you become a part of their circle. And the thing about community is, if it's genuine, if you win, you want to see everyone else around you win. And that's the type of space that you want to put yourself in, where people are not only and solely focused on themselves, but they see what's possible for you too, and they want it for you just as much as you do. This is Patrice Washington, and thank you so much for listening to the Purpose to Platform podcast. If you resonate at all with this episode, please subscribe to the show via Apple Podcasts and rate and review. The ladies and I have enjoyed our time with you this week, and we invite you to join us next week for a brand new story. Take care.